Audio's on. All right, guys. If you guys are here waiting, we're going to be talking about some power, so stay tuned. We're going to be starting here soon. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Thermaltake Live here at Computex 2017. And of course, we're going to have to talk a little bit about power. You know, Thermaltake's been offering power solutions for over a decade and more with all of our great power solutions. And you know, we got some really neat power supplies from our high-end stuff to our low-end stuff and a little bit in the middle. So we're going to just talk a little bit here about some new key SKUs that are going to be coming up that'll be available here very soon in the US as well as other regions. And before I get started, since we are kind of talking about power, I'm on the live stream. I got my live stream up here on my phone, and of course doing live streams, you know, my battery life is going to go. So of course I only trust our Thermaltake mobile line, Luxa 2, for all my power needs on the go. Right here I have our Luxa 2. This is my energy power bank, and I mean, this thing is such a lifesaver. I mean, this is a 10,000 milliamp power bank, and I don't leave home without it. I use this all over the place, on my plane, you know, here live with you guys and everything. And I mean, it's just a great little you know, necessity, so I can keep my phone charged wherever I go, and it's just something nice to have in today's market, you know, being able to have something real easy to use and of course stay charged. So Luxa 2 power banks, you know, we got a lot of other things, some new products from Luxa 2 as well, including our earbuds and earphones and other power solutions. So check our website for more details on that and visit luxa2.com. Now, power. So we wanted to offer a variety of different options for everybody to, you know, fit the budget and the needs for people that are looking to, you know, not really go with the full titanium power supply all the time. I mean, not everybody needs it, but there are people out there that do enjoy having that high-end efficiency. So we've introduced here, this is our smart RGB 80 plus white. So this means that it has an 80 plus white certification to it. So it still has, you know, proper protections built in, so that way it will protect it, you know, if there is a failure with it. And then, well, you know, you do get some efficiency there at a great price point. Now, one thing that we wanted to add on here, of course, you know, with our Ring software, all our RGB products that we have, is of course putting in some RGB. So we've added in a custom RGB fan into something, you know, it's a small, budget-friendly, smart RGB power supply. Now, this power supply is available in 3 different models, from a 500, 600, and 700 watt option. Now, this power supply is hardline, so that means all the cables are connected to the power supply itself, and then you have proper cables and connections going out. One of the things to note that's important is that this will give you 2 6+2 power connections on it, so that way you have proper power for your graphic cards. So if you're looking to get the next build on a budget, take a look and go smart with the new Smart RGB white 80 plus white power supplies from Thermaltake. Again, these will be available very soon here in the market, and we definitely hope you guys enjoy them. And if you have any questions or comments on any of our power supplies or anything here at Thermaltake, we're live here at Thermaltake, so definitely drop your questions down here in the comments. Now, let's move it on here to our new iRGB power supply. So we have our new 1250 watt titanium iRGB power supply in our beautiful green Core P5 system over here, and I have it all kind of hooked up so that I can demonstrate a little bit about the lighting on the power supply, how that's all going to work, as well as talk. First and foremost, this power supply is one of our power supplies because it means that the components inside meet the titanium specifications required, and we have certifications to certify that it's going to be able to do a certain ripple, a certain load, and be able to have everything, you know, at a titanium level for your efficiency that you're looking to power your components. Of course, it has all the proper protections in it, like OPP. You know, we'll have all the information on our website, so you guys can definitely dig into those specifications. But to set this power supply aside from different power supplies that will be out in the market, right? You know, what's the difference? Why Thermaltake? So one of the things that I really like about this power supply, other than the fact that with a higher wattage, gives you a lot more connections, a lot more options. If you're looking for a high-end power supply for, say, doing a multi-GPU type gaming system to other things like server, or even like Bitcoin mining or other types of coin mining. High-end power supplies, high-end efficiency, especially with that power supply running day in and day out on stuff like mining, can really save you the dollar. And one of the things that we've added to this, being a digital power supply, is our new DPSG digital software suite. So with our new software suite, we have the options to be able to check your voltage in real time, check your wattage in real time. Like if you're sitting on the desktop like I am, right now if I scroll over here through my DPS app, I'm looking at this, it'll show me my CPU temperature, it'll show me my VGA temperature, it's all linked up with that. I also have my efficiency, showing what my efficiency is, showing what my wattage is in system's running about 75 watts on average, and usually for at least my system at home, I run two 980 Ti's, playing the popular game. For example, I'm usually probably only pushing about 600 watts to 700 watts max, and it was something that I was kind of surprised. I'm like, wow, the efficiency's definitely gotten better with the components, so that way I can kind of get an understanding of where I'm at with my power supply, what my total wattage is, so I know if I have a little bit of a buffer, or if I'm kind of bridging that gap where I could be coming close to the maximum wattage capacity of it. So you always want to have a little bit of extra room. You really don't want to try to keep it borderline as much as possible. It's always nice to have a little bit of wiggle room on that, because it's just, you're not putting the power supply under like a full load. So a lot of people, they'll use like a PSU calculator and stuff like that to figure out what's going to fit best for their needs. So definitely take a look and see what is going to fit right for you. You might not have to get a high-end power supply, but you might not want to get a low-end one either. Definitely do your research, check online, and figure out what's going to fit best for you on that. Now with this power supply and the software that it has, besides wattage, besides efficiency and some temperatures, I also have a really awesome option to be able to export the data that's actually coming from my power supply. So if I'm gaming for like a week and I want to go back and see when I was, basically gaming, I can tell because I can export a sheet that will show me when I gamed, for how long, what I was doing, how many watts, what my voltage regulation was, my efficiency level to make sure that I'm getting proper efficiency on my power supply. And it's all built in, folks. It's not an add-on. It's not some DLC or actually store multiple power supplies. So if you have either like a small gaming center, or you have a situation where you maybe you're running a couple of gaming PCs, you can link them all up together and kind of see what each one of them is doing. We have a whole website for that as well, so you can check that out online. There's also software updates. So if you have if there's an update for the software, you can set it to automatically let you know, and then you can just click the software update button, and it will just automatically update the software, kind of helping out with not being able to dig for that website to find that driver and see, okay, I got version 1.0.4.5. Real easy to be able to get the latest software, manual support. It's all built in here, as well as multilingual. So we're supporting this on a global scale, being able to change the language, making it very convenient for everybody across the regions. And then with the recording feature, being able to set up and export, all that awesome online website that we have. It's really neat. It's something maybe you're not, because of what it's gonna, what it offers. So we got some questions here. Jess was asking, how much is the 500 watt power supply? Now we haven't finalized the pricing just yet, so stay tuned. We should have more information within the next few weeks in the US at least. But because this is global, I don't want to kind of throw out too much pricing, because power supply pricing can vary from region to region. So just stay tuned for your specific region on what might fit best for you and what's going to work for it there. It should be at a good affordable price with what it is and what we set up from what I've seen. For open cases, these PSUs are really cool. Yes, the Core P5 is definitely one of an ideal case to be able to showcase this pan, because, hey, that's why we put it in here, right? But there are other options with it. The power supply does have the ventilation slots on the side too. So if the power supply is turned sideways, there is actually lighting that's coming through the top or the side of the power supply. So you do still get a little bit of light, even if the power supply is face down. And then the other thing too is if you're facing the power supply down, because most cases are like that, or you can face it up depending on what you want. And you know why? Because there's a Ring Plus fan in here. We have a high-end fan in this power supply, so it's not just cooling the power supply in a way because of what type of fan it is. It can also help you exhaust the heat out of your system as well. So turn that power supply right side up. See what kind of a difference it might make for you, especially if your GPUs are air-cooled and they're down towards the lower part of your motherboard. It might be something that could definitely help out for that bottom GPU or other component that you might have in the system. Just power supply being able to be face front in our P5, we have a great little display showing off our nice new casing that we have for this. This is 80 plus titanium, and this offers a 10-year warranty, folks. So it's a power supply that we definitely put the check mark on, saying that we're definitely backing this for a full decade here at Thermaltake. So you know that the components inside are good, and we'll have more details and specifications on all of this with our power supply at our website too. Now, with this, before I get into like some of the lighting and everything, I just want to show some really neat features. I mean, for me personally, I'm building the system. I'm, wanting to go through with, how I'm going to do my cable management, right? What am I going to do? How's everything going to work out? What are my cables going to be like? So this right here is our new cable sleeving that we have. So these are individually sleeved black cables with all black connectors. I mean, actually this. Why are all those connectors red? Why is it got to be red? I mean, I think everybody kind of knows now that your power supply red connectors for the PCI Express, and it's pretty easy to tell because most of them now have the 6+2 on them, making it real easy to tell the difference between that one and the EPS. But we also did one better for everybody that just maybe can't pay attention at all. We also wrote PCIe right here on the side of the connector. So just make sure you look at the side of the connector there. Real easy to tell, besides the fact that it's just you get your 6+2 individual. Now, this right here is a nice little sleeving to it. I mean, it's really durable. It's heat shrinkless as well, so none of that horrible, ugly heat shrinking around the connection. It's a nice, clean, solid connection, and it gives a nice presentation plugging into the system like our Core P5 that you see over here. And we didn't stop there, folks. So another thing, and this, I mean, for me, I've built a lot of systems with Thermaltake. These cable combs are magical, folks. I mean, I've never seen a cable comb that I can sit and just bend. And see how far I had to go to break that? I mean, these cable combs are just amazing. I mean, being the flexibility that these things offer, being able to go in here and push these onto my individual sleeves, it works really good. I can take these off, put these on, I can adjust them, I can move them around, I can put them on one side or the other, and the power supply comes with them. It's not something you gotta buy extra. These are not sold separately. They're in the box with the power supply. So you're getting all the top end stuff here from Thermaltake with our new titanium power supplies. And we give not just a 24, but we have a variety of different ones here. We got, the little cable combs. We can just sprinkle all over the place. We got them all over the place. We got 6 pins, we got 8 pins, so your EPS, your power supply for your video card and everything. This is all going to be perfect for you to be able to use, and it gives it a nice professional look. I mean, you see the guys that spend a lot of money, all the time, getting custom sleeving and everything. I mean, you can become a professional very easily with something as simple as this. It's just already included in the box with our power supply. So take a look at these cable combs. Are really great with this. We also offer color. We do have extensions in a variety of different colors, 8 different color models as well, and they're compatible with any power supply in the market thanks to them being an extension. So a lot of times you just want to kind of just show that in the front and then be able to have the cable management in the back. And with that, we've also changed up, so with your serial ATA or your SATA connections and your Molex or peripheral power, these are still an all black, all flat cable. So for easy cable routing and management, not giving it too bulky with the sleeving, and then giving this so that way you can get it all routed back there and not take up too much space on the cabling that's more or less not shown. Because a lot of this stuff, usually they're going to hide in the back, or it's very just, the corners just popping out. It's really not too much. So this helps save on some space. So a lot of the serial ATA and the power supply. Hey Vince, how's it going, man? It's great to see you. There's a lot of stuff going out for your build, especially when you got a tight space. I mean, you'll also see a lot of our systems now are more of like a wide type of system, giving lots of extra room in the back there, because we want you to be able to show off those cables, not hide them and bury them and tuck them in the corner. We want you to show those cables off and show your true modding spirit by having something a little bit different that you'll get from Thermaltake with our new power supply line. Now, moving back over here to the fan, now you can see here I kind of color mixed this up with the green and the purple, kind of flowing with that. But to show even more with this, if we jump over to our RGB series, so I got an RGB series that sets up back here, and let's just, we can just kind of reset this, and give me just 1 second here to get this loaded up. So with our DPS software, once we have our software loaded, and I'll get this up because this is right, yeah, all right, and then just going through here. If you guys have any questions on this, definitely let me know about the power supply, anything specific. A lot of this stuff's on the website, so it'd be real easy to tell. So yeah, just kind of changed it over. Now this isn't like a flow mode, so it's cycling through all the individual colors. This is linked up, of course, software suite. So with this being able to be tied in with the ring fans, be tied in with our W4 water block, our pumps, our LED, this is a nice combination to just get everything Thermaltake. The total solution is what we're trying to go here, folks, to be able to offer somebody like having all the different connections, having everything all kind of built in, being able to change different, you know, options and everything. I mean, this is one of my personal favorites. It's kind of like, you know, you're in that deep submarine, you know, you got that radar mode going, and then being able to change the color on the fly. I mean, I can change it to yellow, I can change it to green, I can go blue with it. I mean, it's really neat. You can even set really custom colors. So if you're painting your case a certain color and you just, they're like, man, I can't find a teal blue or a light blue, solves the issue for a lot of people. And then what can go even further with this is that now that I have I have the power supply and I have the capabilities of this, like if I go into, let's say I go into wave mode. So I'm in wave mode right now, it's in RGB. For example, I'm going to go here and I'm going to select all of my LEDs. So as I go here, I can select all my LEDs. Of course, they're different colors at the moment, but then I can select it to red. So now I have it on red. Well, let's make it green so it just makes a little more sense, right? So I don't get the OCD guys going crazy. So with this being green, it's all green. Now I'm going to offset the color. So I'll just turn off every other one. So basically 6 of them are going to stay green, and then I'll just make the other 6 white. Now I have an option to be able to introduce 2 different colors into it and give the animation for the power supply. I mean, it's just a little bit more that you can show for your mod, for your stuff at home. The hard work that you put into that system, being able to, you know, stare at it every day if you got something like this mounted on the wall or just right next to your desk. I mean, you do take pride in what you build, and we definitely want you to be able to show that off here with our Thermaltake power supplies. Now, of course, with this, you can always turn the LED off. So I know a lot of people out there, well, you know, it's too much RGB, Mike, thermal mic, too much RGB. We got an option to turn it off, and of course you also have lots of features like our, a 0 RPM, so that way it can be a totally silent solution, giving 0 dB, and then of course ramping up only when needed. And then with all the other modes that we have, I mean, you can see this, I can go in and, you know, let's say like we have green, I can go in here, I can add red now, or I can, you know, change it over to blue, or I can make it purple and green, you know, to kind of match the system a little bit. It's really neat what you can do, and then you can also adjust the light speed, which is kind of neat, like slow everything down, or you can speed it all the way up. We got a lot of different modes. And then of course for other people that just want a little bit of a subtleness, I think if I can kind of do this, I can bring down a little bit of the brightness, but there is options to be able to adjust the brightness. It might be kind of hard to see with all the lights and everything, but you can also tone it down too, so it's too much of a glare in one area or something like that. You know, you have all these options. I mean, we've built everything in here with this. So voltage, amp rating, the temperature of the PCB on the power supply is really crucial, especially for a lot of people that are pushing your power supply at a high load. Your efficiency, being able to see if you're actually getting what, you know, they say you can get out of it. I mean, and then, you know, with the fan speed optioning, you know, giving you different things. Like I can see what the RPM speed is of my fan right now. I have it in silent mode. I can put it to 0 fan or performance. So if I want to run it 100% or I want it running 0%, I can do that all with this, and it's all built into our software. So this is our new Toughpower iRGB DPSG digital power supply from Thermaltake, offering a 10-year warranty, 80+ titanium efficiency, and lots of connections and connectors for people looking, you know, doing multi-GPU, high-end stuff. Now, of course, with this is only just one of our high-end models. We'll be offering different options too for the lower wattages to meet those better price points. For people that aren't looking to go sky the limit and want just something in between, we'll have that as well, and that'll be all available. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm Thermal Mike. We'll be back here later with some more interviews, and thank you for watching here at Thermaltake Live for Computex 2017.